2 days ago. We're in northern Arizona. We told them based on their press conferences and all that, it was going to be an electric atmosphere. It was loud. First time in 4 years that I've been here that we've had offsides due to crowd noise, and that's an uncommon thing with our offense. So they did a great job. I mean, credit that whole operation up there. Coach Schweigert, the team they puts on the field, and it was homecoming. It was quite the atmosphere. Just to say that.
You always talk about winning the turnover ratio, and that you did win. Can you just talk about the importance of winning that turnover ratio and kind of how it led to just a several-point win?
Yeah, if they don't have the ball, they can't score. I mean, it sounds simple, but that's true. And takeaways, especially on the 4-yard line or whatever yard line it was, when they're fixing to potentially go up 21-3. That was a pretty big game changer. Anthony Ricks does a great job getting on the ball in the end zone, hustling, and then we were fortunate enough to get a couple plays and go down and score. So that kind of got our guys like, hey, we know this is going to happen. We're going to get this done.
Okay. Can you comment on your offense and kind of what you think allowed them to finally get some big plays and kind of those quick scoring drives?
Just Mike Ferder making great calls, Tanner Geller making the correct reads, and the running O-line covering up their guys, and the running backs hitting the holes. I mean, it was just a combination of everything. That's what we feel this offense potentially can do.
Any reason for a lot of the stalled drives that you did end with field goals but not touchdowns?
Yeah, we looked at our third down deal, and the thing that you would think if you go whatever 3 for whatever on third down, you would have about 9 punts. We only punted 3 times. So we were moving the ball, and you want to end every series with a kick, whether it's you like it to be an extra point, but that shows that you're not turning the ball over, and that's what we did. And the whole thing is you take points early. You take points early because that keeps you in the game, and that's all. At one point, Mike said to me, it was 14 after our second field goal. He goes, "Yeah, man, but we can't be trading touchdowns for field goals." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. We got to go. We got to go get a couple. But as long as you're putting points on the board, you're staying in the game." And I knew eventually that our defense would step up and stop that operation.
Yeah, and Campbell, I think, went 4 for 6 and had one of them blocked. How comfortable are you with?
I love those 2 kickers. Yeah. Those guys, the lefty and Campbell, man. The lefty put 2 out of the end zone on our kickoff, and that's the first time in 4 years since I've been here that we've had touchbacks. And then he kicked. We pinned him on kickoff coverage 3 times inside the 20, and that's what you want to do. You want to make teams drive and earn it. You don't want to give it to them. So, and even on the one kickoff that lefty, and I say lefty, I should say Kevin Ryan because his mom's probably listening. But on the one he screwed up, he got over the sidelines and made the tackle, which you better if you're the kicker. And like I said, I like these 2. They're cool customers.
Does it make the win? I know you're Mr. Move on to the next game, but does this make the win any better to you, knowing that one, you're opening up conference play winning, and that it was a ranked team?
It's a win. Conference win on the road anytime against anybody counts and is great. But the fact of the matter is we were at the same point last year. It wasn't a conference win. We were 2-1 coming off of a quote unquote big victory. And it's not a matter of what happened. It's a matter of what do we do from here. And we got into a little bit of a rat's nest with the team that we played last year after the game and after the Nevada game, and we can't let that happen this year. We're like I said, the best thing about this team is now they've been there, and most of them have been there and done that, and they know what to expect, and we're going to get Northern Arizona's absolute best shot. We're going to get everybody's best shot down the road here, because North Dakota is a highly respected team within the conference.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, the end of the UNC game last year didn't go well, but then you guys finished the job last week. Is the biggest factor from just experience and having been there?
There's a lot of things, it's hard to pinpoint one. Just the guys in the whole game, they never flinched. We talked about that. Never saw them as a staff yesterday, and we review the game and the weekend. They never, the guys never got nervous, never panicked, and that's a sign of a mature team. We're mostly juniors, and we got a big junior class, and we're a little bit more mature, a little older, and there's a lot of experience out on the field. So I think that helped.
And I just have one more from last week, and it's on the touchbacks that you guys took the inside the 25. Is that going to be kind of the mandate each week if it's outside the numbers, inside the 10 or whatever it was?
It depends on what David Fiafia sees on film. Sometimes hey, we're going to run it out. If he doesn't feel comfortable with our guys bringing it out, or they give us some screwy look, then I got no problem taking the ball on the 25-yard line. That's better than the 20 or the 18 or the 17. I'll take that any day of the week.
Let's talk NAU. What's going to be the biggest obstacle NAU is going to bring to you guys?
NAU is a unique team. They're picked very highly in the conference coming in, and unfortunately, one of the best players in the conference was injured, and I hate to see it. Case Cookus is awesome. What a great kid. The Big Sky meetings, and it's just unfortunate that he was injured, because he's a heck of a player to watch. But NAU is going to bring a team in here that has beaten a 1A team. They beat UTEP, beat them soundly, and they have a lot of good players. They have moved a quarterback into the starting role who's a transfer from the University of Washington, who is dangerous. Now, the team that we played last week likes to play in a box. Okay, this team is a lot like we do and spread it out. But with a quarterback such as theirs, he has the ability to take off and go, and there's a lot more lanes. And so it's going to be tough to contain him. That's what we have to do, is do a good job of containing him. Defensively, they fought through some injuries. A couple of their key players have been hurt, and we don't know if they'll be back or not. But they run a very sound system. They're going to play us with a lot of man-to-man. They're going to come up and press us, and try to disrupt our routes and load the box on us, and probably force us to throw. They're one of the top teams. They're number one in the nation in interceptions. In the nation, not in the conference, but in the nation. And they are number one in turnovers gained in the nation. So, just like Cal was a couple weeks ago, we got to do our best to take care of the ball. Andy Thompson, their defense coordinator, who I coached at Montana. This is a fun game because there's 6 or 7 coaches that I know on the staff, and a lot of us know these guys. And going all the way to Coach Sowers and Aaron and Robin Pflugrad and Travis Baker and Cody Von Oppen and Andy Thompson. It's other than Montana, this is the next bunch of guys that I probably know, and they're all great. They're all great dudes. But Andy's going to coach a ball hawking defense, and you can see they're going to strip the ball, they're going to poke the ball. Their corners are in great position to make interceptions. They force you into bad throws, and they're gonna definitely present us with a tough problem defensively, offensively. In addition to their quarterback, they have arguably the best. Keelan Doss pretty good, but Emmanuel Butler's pretty good too. I usually just know numbers. I know Butler. Okay, I know his name. And they have a young guy that they put in there at the Wildcat quarterback, number 18, who is a redshirt freshman, who is he's going to be tough, and like I said, they big, tall, physical receivers, the type of guys that we like to recruit here, and that's going to be tough, real tough job for our defense.
The fact that they are the most intercepted? Does that change your offensive game plan in any way?
No, other than the fact that we have to be, our margin of error is really small when throwing the ball. We got to be on target, we got to be on task, and we got to be accurate. And the receivers have to be in the right spot because they are very opportunistic and they do a great job in the secondary.
Have you heard on Case? Is he going to play? Is he out? Do you know anything on that?
No, it's just I keep reading he's always game time decisions. So we'll see.
I was looking. They have 3 guys that have handled the kickoffs for them. Do you know if, does each one have a different role? Do they just kind of rotate them in?
I think. That have kicked the ball off.
Yeah.
Well, their kicker quit. They had their regular kicker quit. And so, that's what I told David that this morning too. I was like, hey, their kicker quit. He's like, oh, that's why. So they're probably trying to find the guy. That would make sense.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Actually.
Hey, last thing.
Yeah.
Let's fill it up. Let's fill it up. Let's fill up Holt. That's homecoming. Let's fill it up and have some fun. That's let's have a great atmosphere. I'm going to say it every time I talk to people this week. Let's get people in the stands and come out and support these guys and watch this team play and watch these coaches do their job. It's awesome.
Tough fought game, very physical. Really proud of the guys. Whole team just fought till the end. Looked up there and we'd won. I don't know, it was a stressful deal and our guys did a great job. Just kept on battling and had a great second half on defense.
Yeah, and was that second half, were there any schematic or physical alterations, or was it mostly on the mental side? What changed?
There was some adjustments, but since I've been the coordinator here, we've played against ourselves spread, and then we went Western, that was more spread, and then we went Cal, that was more spread, a bye week of spread, and then we saw these guys and they're a bigger personnel, fullback set. So, and they had some other we call them gadgets, things that aren't normal offense, but things that you have to really prepare for. So our guys, eventually you run out of those, and our eyes got good at seeing the 2-back stuff and how it fits, and so they calmed down and we limited the calls, changed some stuff up, and then it was kind of took care of itself from there. All the guys did. So
when we talked to Phenicie, his goal for the defense is always to have the winning turnover ratio. Is that your goal always as well? And what does that mean to you? The fact that you guys had 2 to their 1 interceptions.
It's just huge, and then especially down there, they had some yards, moved the ball, but then when we got down the red zone, we turned them over twice down there, and then got some stops. So that's huge. The bend but don't break mentality. It's okay to give up some stuff, but when you get down there and there's limited space, you can do some different things to, change your looks up. So, and that's one of our goals. Each week we try and get 3. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and is there? What's the key to you guys getting more takeaways?
Well, every time there's a turnover, there's someone there to get it. So it'd be, running to the ball, and then just executing the defense. So if you're executing the defense and you're running to the ball, if the ball's tipped, there's a good chance you got someone to get it. If the ball's dropped and you're running to the ball, there should be someone there. So we really just harp on effort to the ball and then executing within the defense, and they seem to take care of themselves. I've coached probably some years now at different levels, and you can work on stripping the ball, you can work on all these things, but it seems like running to the ball seems to be the difference.
Is there something that you guys had been working on leading up to this game, and then in the game it clicked, it worked, it happened?
Yeah, we worked on a different front, for the bigger personnel sets, and people got, and then they got a feel for it. We only got to execute it a little bit against Cal, and then we executed it into the bigger personnel against North Dakota, and then I think the guys finally got a feel for it, and it worked for us, so it was good.
Absolutely.
How about third down defense? Other than their first 5, you guys have been pretty solid on third down all season.
Yeah, and you go through the first 5, and you're up there and you start to panic a little bit. You're just like, well, this isn't working. But you look at it and it's, you have one guy in each play, where his eyes are just a little bit off or not executing, and that's tough to swallow, when they're just, when you can handle the play within the call you make, you'd like to get off the field. But we looked at them as a defensive staff, and it was just one guy in each play. So we cleaned it up a lot in the second half. Kind of calmed down, settled in.
Obviously, he's in here, but without adjusting what you would say, what kind of skills did Cody bring to the team this year with the 14 tackles? to the team this past game with 14 tackles. Is he kind of that guy that you can depend on each play?
Yeah, Mike linebacker, the best thing about Cody is he's very intelligent, and he cares a lot about football, and he cares a lot about his team. So he'll do, no matter what it is, if his fit is to come underneath the block, and that means he's not going to tackle, he does his job every snap, and he's very consistent. And then he has a good feel for Mike linebacker. He has a good feel for what we do.
Okay, great.
You guys are on pace to have more interceptions and sacks than last season. How much does a pass rush translate to interceptions and good coverage translate to more time for sacks? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, it's absolutely. We're getting guys on edges now, so we're getting more opportunities to pass rush just by how we're adjusting our front, and so that's created some turnovers in itself. And so we're trying to be mindful of that anytime we get a chance, is to get edge rushers or make it look like edge rush and bring inside pressure.
I have one more thing. When we interviewed you back in the summertime, you said that you wanted to make this defense to the point where the defense wins more games. And ESPN's article about this game was interceptions won you guys this game. Obviously points as well, but the interceptions ended up pulling you guys through, especially in the final minutes there. Does that can you smile and say I'm doing something right, or are you still essentially your defense is winning games, and that's what you wanted just a couple months ago. Right,
yeah, we have a long ways to go, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm really proud of the defensive staff, and as a defensive staff, we're really proud of our kids. They care a lot, and you can tell when you put on the film, and that's what's most exciting. The wins and losses are going to come, but these guys, they care, so
Yeah.
that's half the battle.
Sweet, awesome.